Hi, so we've got another bite-sized series here where I'll give you a little bit of advice and perhaps direct you to some other clips that I've filmed in the past. Now, lots of people have been informing me that they've got some lower back discomfort. Now, of course, sometimes this is something that's caused by something more medical that needs medical intervention rather than Pilates. And if anything hurts, I'd always say not to do it. But if it doesn't hurt, then it certainly can't do any harm. This can also be preventative. So if you don't have any lower back problems and you don't fancy having any in the near future, this might be for you as well. So we'll start off with a little bit of education and rationale, and then I'll give you some ideas in terms of posture and how to correct that. So there's a number of things that can cause lower back discomfort, and one really common issue is posture. So if you see the previous clip, which I believe is number 86, around neck and shoulders, believe it or not, those, even though we're focusing at the top part of our body here, that can affect the lower back. So if you imagine if your head comes forward, that's going to put pressure further down the body, which inevitably is the lower back. So it's really important to perhaps stay on top of those exercises as well. Another thing that can affect the lower back in terms of posture is prolonged postures. So that is staying in the same position for a long time. Inevitably, in the jobs that lots of us are in the minute, it's sitting at a desk for ages. So it's important to just get up and keep moving. Even if it's between meetings, you get up and have a drink, or you go to the toilet, or you do something that involves moving. Even if it's just for a few seconds, it's better than nothing. It's also really helpful to integrate posture into your daily lives rather than thinking, right, for the next 5 minutes I'm going to do my posture exercises. That isn't really enough. It's not bad and it's not going to hurt you, but if you integrate it into your life, it becomes something that you no longer think about, and then it's not an effort. And that's, I guess, music to all of our ears. The things you can do is maybe think, when I'm sat on the sofa, am I slumped? I'm going to put my bum into the back of the sofa and sit myself up tall. Personally, my sofa swallows me a little bit, so I put a cushion under my bottom so that I'm sitting on a firmer surface, and then it holds me up a little bit more. So it just makes sure that I'm naturally in a better posture than I otherwise would be. Am I upright? Am I sat upright? To begin with, it might feel like an effort, but over time it becomes natural. It's like learning to walk. It's an effort to begin with, but now we don't think about it anymore. And the reason it's important to make sure that posture eventually becomes effortless is because that then means that your core muscles, which we'll talk about more in the next clip, are strong enough to hold you in that position. So if you're naturally slumping, then unless you can correct yourself and stay there and it's not an effort, then the chances are your core muscles aren't strong enough to hold you in that healthy, optimal position. So that's why core strength is really important as well. So the next 3 clips we'll be looking at that. There's other ways you can integrate posture into your life. So if you're a driver, you might adjust the rear view mirror so that your head has to touch the seat. Okay, and the reason that's important, as long as the seat's in a good position, is that you're not bringing your head forward, because some people often drive like this rather than up tall. So if you're here and you can't see in your rear view mirror, you're forced to get yourself into a good position so you can see what's happening out the back window. That's really, really helpful. For those of you that work at desks, DSE, display screen equipment, courses, they tend to do them that last, 5 minutes or so, and it's a good way to just check that your office, your working setup is safe. And as well, screen time. So if we're on the phone, lots of us are on our phone, our heads come forward to our phone because we hold it here, especially if we need glasses. So it's really important to think about your neck position. So again, looking at that neck retraction clip that I mentioned previously, which I believe is clip number 3, that can really help you. And again, doing that all day, every day might be really quite tricky if you're not used to it, but just doing it a couple of times a day, just being aware of it, and then gradually increasing it until you no longer think about it. So that's just a few ideas in terms of how you can integrate good posture into your daily lives to help keep your spine healthy, really, and protect your back. And inevitably, you'll definitely prevent getting yourself into any pain or discomfort that's related to posture, and maybe even increase it if you're already in a place like that.